Bryde has been a fan of trick takers for a while, so with the trick taking renaissance going on, we are always looking at trick takers that play at 2 players to see if we can find one that really scratches that itch for her. So today we are looking at CVLT from Longtail Games. Is this the one? Let me show you how it plays, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it afterwards. Here we are in the setup for CVLT in a 2-player game. You have your 4 suit cards here. A laurel card, which denotes who's leading the trick in case you have an issue remembering, or you can use it at the end of the round so you know who leads off the next round. Each person has 8 cards in their hand. In a 2-player game, there's cards 1 through 8 in the 4 suits. Next, the final step is to draw vision cards equal to 2 plus the number of players. So in this instance, 4. Then every player except for the person who's leading the trick, going around a clockwise order, is going to get rid of one of the vision cards. So there are 3 left. So obviously you draw more in a higher player count, but they still get removed. So when you look on here, there's a couple of things you'll notice. This Apollo has the 2 little helmet things. That denotes that this is a 2-player version of that card. Then this one here has this laurel symbol. That means that that could be moving back and forth as you play. So let's go ahead and we will just get rid of Apollo. So we will have Demeter, Hermes, and Artemis over here on the side. Now, starting with the person who's leading the trick, this is going to be played like a trick-taking game where they're going to look at their hand and they're going to lead off with a color/suit. So let's say they lead off with this red 6. The next player is going to look at their hand and follow suit if they are able to. Let's just get this organized super quick right here. So they are able to, so they will play this red 8. Their number is higher in the suit than what was played, so they win. They now are going to have an option. They choose whichever card they want. And then, so say they take the 6. So now they can put it face up in front of them as an offering that we'll do at the end of the round, or into their dreams, face down to start a hand for next round. You put 4 in your dreams and 4 on offer. So we'll say they put that in their dreams. I'm going to put this in my dreams. Another thing you'll want to look at is Hermes here. You want the fewest fire cards in your dreams. So now, because they won, they would lead. So if you want to move the card over there to remind yourself, you're going to look at their hand and they'll say lead with the 6 blue. Come over here to ours. We do have the 7 blue, like so. So again, we win. So now what do we want to do? Tell you what, let's leave the 6 face up in front of us. They're going to put that in their offer. All right, there is one other thing I do want to show you when it comes to the trick taking. So if I lead off with this 7 red, and they look in their hand, so they no longer have a red. So now they can play any card in their hand. If they play off suit, then I automatically win. However, if you play a card that has the exact same value as the lead card, so in this instance, the red 7, that's an air 7, you played a trump card, so you would win it. So even if this was a 4-player game, if I led with the red 7, someone else played like a red 8, this person played the air 7, this person played a red 3, this person would win because they played the same as the lead. They can't play one of something else, it has to be the lead card. And so then they would choose which one they wanted. In this instance, if they won with an air card, they would take Artemis. And so they put that there and that there. So you're going to go back and forth until there's 4 cards face up in the offer and 4 cards in the dream. Let me get that set up to show you how that would look. So this would be an example of how at the end of the round the cards might look. So then we're going to look at our vision cards. So I have 2 in my dreams. They only have 1. So they would get Hermes, and we'll say I won the final trick, so I would get Demeter. We then are going to be putting our cards up into these temple cards, I believe they're called. So we are going to go by color. There's no red. There is air. So they start off by putting their 1 up here. They will now score this 1 because you score if when you put the number up there, all cards below it are in there. So there was nothing below 1, so they would score 1 point. Then the 3 comes. They do not score the 3 because you're missing the 2. Had the 2 been there, they would have scored 3 points. And then my 6, again, doesn't score because there is no 2, no 4, and no 5. We then continue on, adding these in. So 2, 6, and 8, so no points. And then a 3 and a 6. So, to set up for the next round, each player now has 4 cards from their dreams. You are going to deal each person 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That will be their new hand. You'll draw the 4 more vision cards. Whoever won the final trick is leading, so the other person will get rid of one of the cards. And now you have 3 more vision cards that you are playing for. You're going to play this round exactly the same way as round 1. Then you'll repeat for round 3 the same way as this. You'll have 4 cards here. You'll have 4 cards up. You'll add those into there, scoring points for the face value if there is all of the numbers below it. Dealing out then the final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all cards will be out there. And then after you do that final round with all of the cards added, each vision card is going to be worth a point value based on number of players. In a 2-player game, they're worth 4. In a 3-player, they're worth 6. And in a 4-player, they are worth 8. You can also score the vision cards each round if that's how you wish to do it. At the end of the game, you're going to add up the points. Highest score wins. There is an expert variant where you will simultaneously pass 2 cards over to another player at the beginning of the first and second rounds. That way you can kind of maybe know 2 of the cards and play off that knowledge there. But that is how you play CVLT. Let's go and hear my thoughts on this. Alright, so that was how you played CVLT. I will now kind of scroll through all the different cards so you can kind of see the different characters, what they're all looking for, and then the artwork on all of the color cards. So the answer to the question I posed before the teach, did this scratch the itch for the bride? And I unfortunately am going to say no, but I'll explain why. So she more was looking for pure trick taker, where you want to win every trick and it's all about the tricks and that's it. Once more game elements are added to it, it's a little bit harder to satisfy that need for, because once you add other elements to it, the trick taking is there, but at that point you have to manipulate the tricks. So for her, having the mindset of, I want to win every trick, I want to win every trick, that doesn't necessarily help in this game because of that drafting mechanism after you win the trick. Because in that aspect now, that's all about possibly planning ahead. Maybe counting the cards, figuring out when is a good time to take this card, and do you want to put it out in front of you or do you want to put it in your hand? And the fact that you have to choose 4 and 4, so you really have to be very judicious with what am I going to put in front of me. Because I could put the 8 in front of me and that stops them from getting it later, but I could put it in my hand to almost guarantee I win that trick next hand and try and hold on to that all the way until that final one and hope that you don't get trump carded or something. So there is that element there that just kind of eludes her, and that's the element she's not looking for in a trick-taking game. So if you are going into this looking for just a pure trick taker where all it is about winning the tricks, and as long as you win the tricks you're going to win, this is not that game for you. This game is going to be for you is if you like taking the tricks with the trick-taking game, you like playing that aspect, but you also want to kind of be able to manipulate that scoring to where even if you lose the trick, you may get one of those vision cards, and the vision cards can help score you points. Or you can manage like, all right, well, I noticed they took this number, so I'm going to put this number in there. Because with them winning, yeah, they get first pick of that card, but that may actually be a hindrance because maybe you have the 2 and the 3 of air out there. And they take the 3, figuring you're going to score the 2. Well, no, I think I'm going to put the 2 in my visions pile. That way you aren't going to score the 3 because the 3 is going to go up there, and then hopefully I can score the 2 next time. So there is a little bit of a, I won't necessarily say take that, but there can be some meanness in the game of when you lose that trick, being able to kind of outmaneuver or hinder your opponent that way where you can take the points away from them. So there is that element that she also wasn't a fan of. Me personally, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it because when her and I do play straight trick takers, she tends to win more because she's grown up playing trick taker. So she has that edge. By being able to try and manipulate the cards here, it kind of meets us in the middle. So now it is a bit more even where it's not like, all right, you play trick takers, you know how to, you manipulate the cards and that's what you excel at. Well, no, I excel at being able to manage the cards, figure out when stuff's going to go. And then especially in that final hand, at that point in a 2-player game, you have perfect knowledge. When those 8 cards get dealt and you look at your hand and you look out there, you know what 8 cards they have. So you really can maneuver and manipulate the tricks how you want to. Like, all right, I can see there's the 2 3s out there. I have 2 3s in my hand, so I know they aren't going to be able to trump card my 3. And I have all of the red cards, so if I want to be able to score these red cards, I need to play them by doing this, and then they won't be able to trump the, and be able to kind of manipulate around there is one of the cool things that I personally did like about this one. Because you're not going to be able to score every card because you're going to still have 4 cards in the dreams. So which ones do you focus on? Are you going to be able to get one color 1 through 8, or are there going to be gaps? It's going to be hard to get that 1 through 8 because over 3 rounds you're going to have to get all 8 of those cards out there. So, well, if you figure if each person's putting 8 around, only 24 cards are going out there, 24 out of 32, if all of them were up to 8. So it is kind of that little weird manipulation part there. So overall, I would say that I enjoyed it. Her being a pure trick taker was not a fan, but I did enjoy the extra gamery elements put into CVLT. So if that sounds like something you like, go ahead and check the link down below to see how you can possibly get your hands on that game. While you're down there, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be alerted when I do post more videos. You can also comment to let me know if you've played it or what element of this game most intrigued you. Until next time, I am the Groom having a vision.